What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Legion of Nerds. I'm Chuck.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Johnny.
Tonight we're gonna have our Ghostbusters Frozen Empire discussion. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe, especially if you like what it is we're talking about.
You ain't got to subscribe, at least like it.
If you're already a subscriber, welcome back. And I guess we're gonna jump right into it. So, who wants to go first?
Now, I admit, for a Ghostbuster movie, it was a Ghostbuster movie. I mean, with the photon packs and everything, it was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Was it?
Special effects.
Was there enough busting?
Maybe not enough, but enough to tease you for it.
I didn't think there was enough ghost busting, like actual ghost busting.
Well, there were some big ones.
I mean, there was. I'm not saying there wasn't any ghost busting, but I expected more busting making me feel good.
Oh no, I feel like I kind of go in the opposite direction than what you're saying, only for the sake of like, it felt like it was building for another movie.
Yes.
Like it's just giving blocks for it.
Yes. I thought there was a couple lines in the movie where it seemed like they were pushing it to maybe go international. Mm-hmm. Like, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know. I'll save my point on that.
Yeah.
For next part. But I definitely kind of agree with that side.
Right.
Story, I wasn't too happy. Can't lie. Yeah, the story-wise, I was not expecting that at all, and it just, to me, it kind of muddled it.
Yeah. I really liked how they were going to introduce, like, another version of ghost busting.
Yeah. Because they got the whole, that whole thing going now. See, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Try and avoid giving too much away.
Yeah. That's why I was like,
like.
But over and all, I mean, if for the new generation, for kid wise, that movie's gonna capture kids' attention all day long.
Yeah.
All day long.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, it felt like they were kind of reaching a little bit with it
for the younger generation.
It's the only. I mean, like. Once you watch it and you understand a little bit more of it, like, yeah, but at the same time, it just kind of felt like they were trying to reach to put more in.
It was. There was like half a dozen more characters this time around, and they had added so many characters in the last one. So now we got all the OG characters, all the Afterlife characters, and new half a dozen characters that they introduced in this one. They were overdoing. It was way like over. Spider-Man 3 issue. Mm-hmm. It wasn't too many villains. It was just too many people in general.
Way
too many characters
to take in. And you're like, oh. To the point where when they showed up, you're kind of like, expected it.
Yeah.
Expected it.
It was very formulaic. Like, we were sitting in the theater, and it was like very beginning, and I leaned over to you and said, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. And it ended up being that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And
yeah, it was pretty much.
It was very formulaic. Like, you could call it for what it was going to be. You know.
It was a Ghostbuster movie.
Yeah.
With a twist.
Yeah. There was a couple little twists in there that I liked. And we'll get to them later. During our spoiler talk.
But we're not like some of the stuff they didn't introduce though. Was pretty cool.
Right.
I mean, it was.
A new villain and new lore is always great.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and they didn't rehash like 1 and 2. There wasn't like some big Statue of Liberty or Stay Puft walking through New York or anything like that, which was good too. I like the fact that didn't happen.
But they were back anyway, and you gotta love them little Stay Puffs though. Anyway,
no, I do
really?
not.
I love them because they're little shits.
And I think they're the minions of the Ghostbusters. Minions. I hate Minions.
I can understand
I
that.
don't hate Minions. I have no love for Minions. You know what I mean? And to me, it was just
Drawn out.
you could have made them yellow and they've been Minions.
Watch now. There's gonna be there'll be a little cut of one being in suspenders now and everything with glasses. Watch now that you said that. That's crazy.
See, you were bringing up that, and all I could think of was Slimer. Like,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
He's been all over the place in every one of them.
And I can't say nothing to him because my love for Slimer comes from the cartoon.
Yep.
The real Ghostbusters. He ain't never watched that.
And I'm new age.
You know, all he has seen is the movies, and I'm sure I can understand what he means. But like my love for Slimer comes from the real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And the
because
cartoon, and the comic books. But
he was their little sidekick.
yeah, he was their homie in the cartoon.
Well, yeah, but
and
I don't know. I just he was one of the characters. I'm like, okay, he's back. Damn it! Again,
right.
like.
Well, that's the thing about Slimer. He's one of them franchise things they stick into Ghostbusters.
yeah, because you got
been there.
to sell that toy.
Yeah.
You got to sell Slimer.
He's been there since the first
Slimer
one.
sells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
All
he's
day
one of the
long.
big,
I mean,
toys.
come on, the slime, the damn, the high C slime or drink.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not the Ghostbusters themselves that sell. It's like the proton pack and the trap and the ghost, like Slimer.
Now they got that damn that little drone flying one now.
Oh, that was cool.
Dude, that was cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I tell you, the beginning of the movie, the first like 15 minutes was like excellent. I thought we were going down a path that was going to be really, really great because the first little intro, because it starts out in 1908. Ain't that what it is? 1904, 1908?
1908.
Yeah. And it tells that little story.
Yeah.
And then it jumps into our time. And then, because that's something new we have never seen before, is the drone.
Yeah.
Like, and we're not spoiling nothing. It's in the trailers. Like,
Yeah.
I had to
All
think about
over.
Slimer for a
Yeah,
second.
he in the
I was like,
trailer.
okay, he
Yeah.
spit out the goo and everything in the trailer.
But yeah, that whole beginning sequence, that was something new that we hadn't really seen before. So,
Like,
and
I thought
liked
it was going to be another like collective like Ghostbusters movie, but it felt more like a rebellious teenager.
But that yes,
Ghostbusters.
because
That's the whole thing.
I swear they got a trilogy planned. And by the end of the trilogy, the old guard will be gone. Not dead or anything, but they won't be there.
Yeah.
And the new, it'll be like the new. Like we've seen a new, we'll talk about it in the spoiler. And the international we were talking about.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Like
I get what you mean.
like where it'll go from there after that. But I think these first three are gonna have to do with us really getting to know the new kids and Paul Rudd and Carrie Coon, and then
the
old ones will go away.
Yes.
Like not go away, but
fade off.
I really did not
fade off
like
into the
them
sunset.
all showing up. Like I loved it in Afterlife, but I did not like it them all showing up and being Ghostbusters in this one.
I'll give you that one.
Not except for Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
Like I think Dan Aykroyd was the best in the movie, like acting wise and looking like he was having a blast.
He was having a blast.
But
That
in
was
real
his favorite
life,
movie.
he's a paranormal person.
Yep.
So like it's like him. He gets to play himself. So who wouldn't love to be able to play himself? Like he's spitting out them lines about the paranormal, and you can just see it's like really him.
Yep.
Like
And
I
his
love
magic,
this stuff.
to be able
Like-
to see
Like
it.
they
it's not acting. Like it's really Dan. Like Dan Aykroyd.
Just
like,
enjoying what he does.
That's right.
like watching all the Ghostbuster movies before we went and watched the movie. Kind of like it gives me that comparison look to it, and it just seemed like they toned him down a lot from the first two movies. Like
Not
he's
as goofy.
Like he's not as goofy, or like not as like sitting here actually speaking like like scientific gibberish and such. And then it goes, but in this one he's kind of like toned it down. He's like
more of a paranormal.
he's more
Yeah.
talking and just
An antique seller.
actually giving the information without just being like assuming that everyone's some huge scientist or
Right.
something that understands everything that they're saying.
Right. Well, and then since like his best friend Egon, who he sits around and talks the scientific jargon, who he did before they had a falling
about
out.
everything, yeah.
Like they don't sit around and talk. They don't anymore because Egon's gone. They had a falling out and everything. So I'm sure now he's around regular people, so he don't speak
Too many.
like Egon.
Yeah.
He speaks more regular. You know, like he could.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh, he's a smart man.
Yeah,
He's just kind of dumbed it down.
But he's been dealing with podcasts for how long now? Like how long have podcasts been around? Like, I know it was the summertime and he was there for the summer.
Yeah.
But he had to deal with podcasts and he can't just talk the
Oh, my
scientific
God, that
stuff to
kid.
podcast.
That kid's interesting, ain't he?
Yeah, yeah. Like he was one of the best things about about Afterlife.
Yes.
I thought anyway. Like
Yeah, it was good that they brought him back. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's a part of
see,
the movie.
that was one of the things. How did everybody come to New York? Like
Well, he explains how he got
well,
there.
I know, but everybody from Afterlife was in New York. Like everybody that was in
Yeah.
Oklahoma in Afterlife
Yep.
is now in New York.
Cause okay, yeah, I had to think about it for
You
a
know
second.
what I mean?
Lucky's in the
Lucky-
trailer and everything.
Yeah.
too. And
Yeah.
and so
Oh
now
yeah,
Lucky's
we
doing
know
the
they're all
internship
in the
and
trailer.
everything.
Yeah, her internship and all
Yep.
that. Like yeah,
I mean,
but that, what's the chances of everybody ending up back in New York?
especially during this time when all this is going down.
Right
very
at this
slim.
exact time.
Very
where-
slim, but
Yeah, but formulaic movie.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it is.
oh,
You just gotta, most movies are hyper realized worlds anyway, and you just gotta go with it. Like, because if we didn't go with stuff, John Wick would suck. You know what I mean? But John Wick's great, so
that's true. John Wick's a badass man.
that's right.
Don't kill his dog. Pencil.
That's right. I seen the Joker do it for John Wick though.
Yep. That's a magic trick.
He made that pencil disappear.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Oh no, that was okay. So it wasn't.
Come on.
I don't know. I don't know. Give me a second. I'm sorry. My brain was like trying to figure it all out. But I was thinking of. I think it was Jason. Like he stabs Joker in the eye while he's sitting there telling the joke that he told Batman and everything.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Okay. I thought it was backwards for a second, but then my brain was like, "No, that ain't it. It's my bad. We're just gonna we're just gonna take that out."
All right, so before we move on to spoiler talk, would you recommend the movie for people to go see, or would you recommend them wait to rent it or on
Just
streaming?
wait. Just
Yeah?
wait. Yeah. You might as well just wait. In my opinion, well, because your youngsters and stuff like that, let them go watch the movie. Let them spend your money, or their money, or however it may be. Because some of them parents, hey, here's $20, go
Right.
watch a movie. I'd say wait. Yeah, I'd say wait.
I guess I'd have to probably agree too.
Yeah,
Like, in my opinion, it wasn't top tier, but I'd say whenever you're able to rent it or whatever, just rent it.
right.
And do it that way. Don't spend the $15-$20 it takes to get a ticket in.
I agree.
$30 almost.
Right, right. No.
Popcorn.
To be-
Oh yeah, more than that.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
But you go after everything, your munchies.
yeah. See, I don't think about that though.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm trying to rate my movies,
No, I don't either.
But you ain't wrong. Like, and it's hard. It's hard not to factor stuff like that into nowadays, because man, like
That's
a dollar is a dollar. Like
Yeah.
every dollar. But I agree. I would wait, but I'd buy it when it come out.
Oh, yeah.
Like so,
Yeah.
I'd have it in my collection for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Like,
it's the part of their trilogy that they got going on.
It's
I mean, come on.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
It's Ghostbusters.
Exactly. It's
like see,
Ghostbusters.
because my favorite one's still the first one, and
Always.
the second one is like Die Hard 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a
Oh,
rehash. It's just a rehash. It really is. Like instead of Stay Puft, we got the Statue of
yeah.
Liberty walking through. Like that's pretty much that's how I seen it anyway. Like it
And
really
that was
is.
cool that they hit it.
I like
that
to,
in
though.
The movie, though.
Yeah.
That was cool. I'll
Yeah.
give it that.
Yeah. You control the Statue of Liberty
Yeah.
with the NES Advantage. And I had one of those, so I was
Oh, who didn't?
like,
Turn that button up to,
that's right.
or turn it all the way up and just press.
And I wasn't the biggest fan of the all woman. Like I don't care that they were all women. The movie itself was not that great. It seemed more like Scooby Doo than Ghostbusters, and there's a difference.
Yeah.
like there's a big difference between Ghostbusters and Scooby Doo. And I really, as I was watching that's all I could think was this is Scooby Doo and not Ghostbusters.
See, I know I've watched it, but I don't
Dude,
exactly remember what all
3
was
was
in
it.
it because
Yeah.
I did not enjoy it.
Right.
I didn't like the
Well, I mean,
movie.
luckily it ain't canon, so you ain't got to watch it to enjoy anything coming.
Okay.
You know,
So I didn't know that it was just that it wasn't canon.
No, it's not. It's like
okay.
its own separate universe.
yeah,
Okay,
and
Yeah, yeah. It's out. All the other movies are in the same universe.
Yeah.
yeah.
And Afterlife was great. Like
Yeah,
I thought
like
Afterlife. Afterlife was awesome. It's probably my second favorite in
Yeah.
the whole
it was a
run of
It
movies.
was an awesome remake. I don't even think you can call that a remake.
It wasn't. It was a continuation.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, it was
Yeah, because
awesome.
I'm-
Continuation.
I guess you could call it a requel or continue equal.
Yeah, something
Like
like that.
because it's a continuation of the story, but it is a going back to the original Gozer
and
and
everything.
you know
Yes, like-
and all that. So I mean, but it's a continuation. Like there's plenty of sequels that come along that the bad guy come back, or you know, like a bad guy you thought was gone comes back later on
True.
in the movies. or
Always
whatever.
comes back to haunt the family in
Right.
some way, some
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of curse, or it followed the family from.
Yeah, how many times you thought somebody was dead in movies and they came back? Like, come on, man. Han and Fast and Furious. Number one.
There's a bunch of them out there.
All right.
Spoiler time.
So on to spoiler time.
If you don't want to hear it, you
Yeah.
gotta leave.
We're going into spoiler talk. If you don't want to hear it, you might as well cut it
Now.
off now because
Yeah.
we're about to get deep. In 3, 2, 1.
Dude, that was bullcrap that they turned it into a love story. I'm gonna come out and straight up say it.
Love story.
Whose love story?
Hers. But dude, the
McKenna?
ghost in her. Yeah. In the end, that's what it turned out to be because that's what it was. The whole them connecting together. Was
I don't know
supposed to
about
be like a
love story,
I don't
She fell
think
in
it
love
was
with
a
her,
love
dude.
story.
No, I
She
don't
fell
think
in
it
love with her,
was.
dude. I guarantee. Watch.
I
It's
don't
gonna
feel
blow
like
up all
it.
over the thing.
I don't feel like that.
I don't either. Like I could have seen it.
I
just
see
a
what you're
little bit.
saying.
yeah.
Like I understand what you're saying.
Because that's what it eventually ended up taking over the movie. Because it became about them two. Them meeting, being secretive, her wanting to become a ghost so she can interact with another ghost.
yeah, but there wasn't nothing about like
She was
love.
infatuated.
I don't know.
or
Well-
That's more like contextual than like actually.
Okay,
Being,
infatuated. We can call it infatuated.
I'm thinking it's more of like she doesn't have any kind of connection with these other people, and so
she wanted to be a
she
ghost.
wanted to be able to experience that, not only in the fact of like she's over here hunting these ghosts, essentially like ghost busting, and she wants to experience being a ghost.
But she really
But
didn't
don't
have
forget-
that strong of an urge until she met the girl.
But we
She
don't
did,
know
though.
that. She just didn't talk about it. Think about it for a sec, because later on in the movie, Dan Aykroyd, because they asked Dan Aykroyd about what he thought, and he always wanted to know what it would be like to be a ghost.
See, I wanted
like
to
how
pop
he
that
materialized
same
and like all that. So maybe she did already want to know, and she just figured out a way with this new group of Ghostbusters that Winston's been like behind.
I mean, she did, because the first question she asked when she saw the machine was like,
Oh,
how
that's
does it
right.
work on a
Does it work on a
living
person?
being?
That's right. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah, she
and so
did.
she was already asking.
That's
those
right.
But
questions.
She
after
was.
that, but she had met the girl before before they found their nice little Ghostbuster center. Yeah, she had played chess with her.
I thought that was after.
No, that was
scene.
before. That was whenever that first when the first freeze came through. from the ice ball. Whenever was it Dan Aykroyd who set it off? Because it was either him. Damn, now I'm have to retrace that.
He was the one that set it off. Like whenever
and it came down and hit that, and whenever it hit that, the next night because she was out because she went and played chess, and that's when she ran into the girl. And then later on in the movies, whenever they came across the other Ghostbusters center.
I don't know because remember they were trying to put the ghost in. Like at the very beginning of the movie, they tried to put the ghost in,
and there was a problem.
And there was the issue, and everything started happening.
And Winston's
engineer come in, and then
But they hadn't gone to the center yet, not until after the crack.
Yeah, but that was like the crack was before she met.
It was because it was the beginning.
I swear the chess scene happened
because they met Lucky. They meet up with Lucky. They meet up with Podcast first.
Yep, Podcast and Dan, because he's over there smashing the.
Oh my gosh! When
Hammer gets the muse, lady.
When he smashed that watch, me and Bree both went. Oh
that
my
was
god!
Crazy.
Right, because it was their husbands, like, and he dad, like, oh my god.
That was an interesting way to introduce him into it, though. Yeah, I'll give that one. That was.
I thought it was badass that they used this podcast to find things that were haunted to give to the other Ghostbusting group.
That's true.
That was badass. I thought it was like.
I mean, it helps all sides.
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
And they use that.
Well, that's like we talked about.
My director or producer would like me to tell you to hit the like button and subscribe.
The podcast just sitting here whispering to him.
Right.
That was great. He had, what was it? I swear to God, that was a mini Gallagher hammer, dude.
Yeah.
Sledge-o-matic.
Oh, it was great.
That was, yeah, he said, I was like, no way you got a sledge-o-matic.
Hammer gets the views, lady.
So whenever they went and introduced like Winston's whole operation and everything,
Right.
Like all I could think of is like it's starting to expand.
Yes.
And that's where my brain went to like this whole like the idea of spy movies like starting here and then it just becomes this huge thing across the globe, and that's all I could think throughout the whole movie of Ghostbusters was like, it's gonna go from this, it's gonna get the support of the mayor of New York City at the very end, and then it's just gonna blow up and keep going.
Not this mayor. It's gonna have to be the next mayor. I know he said in front of the cameras he supports Ghostbusters, but the man without the dick ain't supporting the Ghostbusters. Like,
Heck.
Yeah.
Mr. Dickless.
Telling you, he's the best asshole ever. Like in a movie.
Has in every movie.
Die Hard, Ghostbusters, just those two, Ghostbusters and Die Hard, and it was, yeah. Like he got like death threats, like women on the like old ladies on the streets hitting him with bags and stuff because of his role in Die Hard and Ghostbusters. Yeah, woo! Just think, man, this is a movie.
That would suck. Walking down the street and get pelted all of a sudden. Pop.
Oh, and God damn it, the fire. I forgot what the name.
Yeah, best new thing in the movie was Kumail.
Firemaster.
Yeah.
Firemaster, that's what it is. I was gonna say like Heat Master or
something,
but Firemaster.
Like that's what I meant by the new way of ghostbusting.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Was him. And his like firepower or whatever. Because he was just pretty much a Ghostbuster.
Yep.
But they came away from they did it a different way.
Yeah. See, that would be pretty cool.
Because he had the devices that trap the spirits in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had the armor and everything. Like
but the only reason why I would see any kind of problem with that, other than like if he's in the other movies, of course.
I'm sure he will be. Yeah. But they'll figure out a way to incorporate him into the team
somehow or another.
Just the fact of like the whole story of it was like he's a line of these fire masters, and he's the only one that can protected or should have been protecting this orb that was holding this god.
Right.
And so how would that how would it be explained that there's more of him? Like, if he's been the only fire master, like his lineage has been the only fire master sitting here protecting this, like how are they bringing in others?
There are no others.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there are no others.
Yeah, but then at that point, like you were saying, like a whole new thing.
Oh, they're gonna,
Ghostbusters,
but they're gonna figure. Yeah,
him.
yes,
Yeah,
he's gonna be.
It will be.
He'll be the only one that
Yeah.
does what he does, but they'll figure out a way to integrate him into this team.
Yeah, of course.
Well, of course, because
And then there'll be like part of the team that uses the regular proton packs, and then we'll have part of the team that uses the new copper or whatever
Oh,
proton
yeah.
If you
packs.
remember
brass,
that one
the
though,
brass.
he's
The
able
brass,
to control the proton beam because you remember?
That's right. That's
he
right.
Controlled that proton.
He's like Kylo Ren. Like, it's right. He got the Force.
See, I didn't expect that.
I didn't
It's
either.
like-
That did come out of nowhere.
like,
that was a little weird.
It was cool though.
It was
I
cool.
liked it. Like,
It was cool, but that was a little weird.
yeah.
I don't know. That's one of those things that's like questionable in the entire context of the movie because there were multiple times whenever like Baraka
His name is Garaka.
had frozen the proton beams.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
That was weird. I'm not gonna lie.
Like I don't know how that it works in the sense of him being able to control the proton beams.
Why not? If Garaka can freeze them, why can't
He makes the
use
fire
his
with-
fire to
with the proton beam. That's what I was thinking too.
But I didn't see it as like fire, like if he's able
But it's
to
not
control
laser.
fire and control the proton beams, like that leaves kind of a
Mix it.
wide.
Well, maybe it was all meant to work together in the end. Like it was meant to be. Like his powers just line up with the Ghostbusters because they're so much alike.
But I do wish we
don't
would have
know.
seen more of the
It
villain.
seemed a little off-putting.
I understand what you mean.
I wish we would have seen a little more of the villain though.
Yeah,
Yeah, I felt like we really didn't see a
Garaka.
lot of him.
yeah.
Now, granted, he looked like a deranged alien.
I think he
but-
looked like Slender Man with horns.
I mean, if we're gonna go with that, then the same could be said about like Afterlife and One because
Oh yeah, we didn't even see Gozer in the first one till the very end.
Well, that's the same thing. I mean, the first one was kind of the same way.
That's what I'm saying. The
Yeah.
first one, yeah, we didn't even see Gozer till the very end.
Afterlife was pretty much just like roaming and hearing strange sounds and figuring out the origin.
Yeah, and
And
we
then-
didn't see
and then-
Gozer till the end
yeah.
of Afterlife.
Like we
Yeah.
didn't even see like Gatekeeper or
Yeah.
the Keymaster until like the very end.
Well,
Like,
that little
we knew
shadow
Vigo-
realm thing, though, man,
Yeah.
I'd have liked to seen a lot more of that.
Yeah.
Though.
Oh,
That was pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah, there
Where he
was.
sucked
They
the
had
girl in.
trapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'd like to seen a lot more of that.
Yeah.
him
Oh, there
being
was a lot I'd like to see, and that'll probably be ran through when it comes to the.
Oh yeah. Oh, we'll see all kinds of Easter eggs and stuff like that for people who go through it.
All right, y'all. We're about toward the end. You got one final thing you want to say about it?
Again,
It's a relatively good movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No,
It's not a bad movie.
No, it's not a bad
at all.
movie.
It's a good movie.
I mean, some people like it, some people won't. Everybody has their own opinion.
I do believe it was more. It was more for the younger people, which I know Ghostbusters
That's
ain't
why I
made
think it
for
was,
us. But
that's why
you
I think
know,
it was more of a love story because it wasn't aimed at us. It was aimed at more of the younger.
Yeah, but why wouldn't it actually be a love story then? Why would they beat around the bush for it?
So I'm big. I don't want to get too touchy on that. So everybody's got their own opinion. There's their thing. I mean, because it was two girls, plain and simple. They're trying to throw that nice little twist into everything now. So I think that's
Yeah, but
what
you
it's supposed to
can't be like you can't
not.
every time two girls become friends.
I'm not.
It's not
But that's not. I don't think that's what it was meant to be. Is
like-
them being friends. I think it was more like she got infatuated with the girl.
I understand the context where you're coming from because there was like even whenever they both were ghosts, like they were getting real close, but at the same time, I think it was just more of like trying to create that connection between the ghosts and the Ghostbusters. Like
Well, she even said, man, her pretty much was destroyed by the one person she thought she could
We
trust.
are at the end.